Hello, my name is Lewis, and I thought we could start a new series where we draw the uploads from a forum on Reddit called Reddit Gets Drawn. So today we're going to be focusing on a picture posted by user Starling_ASMR. And I quite like this picture because there's some nice kind of greens and earth tones in the hood that she's wearing, and then it's mixed with nice purples and reds, so there's a really nice kind of complementary factor going on there. We're going to see how we can best replicate this. I think I'm going to go for a more simplistic style, possibly even start with line work, but I'm not sure about that yet. So this, the colour scheme in this one can get a little bit complicated on the face. There's a lot of abstraction, so right now I'm just trying to get it nice and colourful and figure out what colour zones I want in there, and what colour zones are already there to begin with. Just really focusing on the colours and where they go at the moment though. So I've got the first general outline in, and now I'm just focusing on what kind of colour zones I want in the face. And this can be the really difficult part because there's so much abstraction. So mine's probably going to end up being quite a bit more colourful than the original image, which is quite a bit what I'm going for, because this image has really got a lot to offer in its colour. Lots of nice pinks and purples we can see, especially in the face, and then trying to get some more earthy but still quite purples in the shadows, like round here behind the chin. And then the kind of more 3D sculpting aspect is sitting secondary. We've reached a pretty important milestone, and that's what I like to call the first pass. So the whole canvas pretty much has colour on it now. So right now I'm just working on getting it nice and three-dimensional, and trying to build a bit more of a likeness. So that's the kind of stage we're at the moment. It's just we've got our colour harmonies in now. I'm trying to get a more three-dimensional feel, getting the big blocks in, the big shapes. And then we're going to start getting the details in, like the eyes. 15 minutes working on getting an eye looking right. I'm often very reluctant to change it when I find out that the place that the eye is in is wrong because the rest of the face hasn't been drawn appropriately. But we'll focus on them last because they're the smaller picture, and they're the bits that that is quite easy to get sentimental about and not want to change. Well, the rest of it I can quite easily make big changes without really worrying. So it's just starting to come into that time where we're working on details. I've got the nose a little bit more accurate. I'm just starting to get the eyes in. I believe I've even got the positioning of this one wrong now with how late we've started it. So it's really something that you want to do a tiny bit, zoom out, get a tiny bit more in, and this is what I've been doing for the whole process, and just make sure to be working on the area around whichever detail or whatever part of the piece that you're doing. And something that's always going to happen to you in your piece, you're going to start drawing something and get sentimental about it and find out that it's wrong and you need to change it. It's just really about trying to mitigate that and find the common potholes that'll kind of nab you, and figure out what kind of things you're prone to doing wrong. But really the biggest thing that you want to manage in a painting in general, and especially can get difficult when you're doing your details, is the contrast. If you put loads of contrast in one area that doesn't deserve it, it just looks completely off, and it'll ruin the piece in a way that's just impossible to put your finger on, and it'll really give you a head scratcher and throw you through the loop on that one. So you just really want to make sure that the surrounding area supports what you're drawing, and that you're not putting too much contrast in one spot that doesn't deserve it. So we're quite a bit further through the line now. I'm getting more and more happy with the shape of the eyes. Still not perfect. There's something wrong with the right eye that I quite would like to sort out. But I feel it's a good time to just start focusing on the structure, as I have been throughout. If you get too focused and narrowed down on one thing, you know, you run into a problem you eventually run into a problem that is caused by the external structure. This study in particular, what I really wanted to focus and bring out, what I had in mind, was the colours. I feel that part of the piece, at least, has gone particularly well so far. I think that the approach that I ended up using really suited it, even if I was quite doubtful at the start. However, I find that at least for my artwork, most of the time when I'm doing it, my approach at the start will feel new to me, because a lot of the time when I break out a different technique, I've got to kind of shake off the rust from the time between when I last used it. You know, there's a lot of starting techniques, and each painting kind of uses a different one of the many hundreds of ways you can start, so it always feels new, and there's always that kind of skepticism whenever I start, at least. So it's always good to kind of try and push through that skepticism, because even if it goes wrong, you'll still gain something. You'll still be learning. So yeah, we've got the eyes in place. The colours are in place. Right now, I'm just working on the supporting bits. I might have this side of the hood kind of, you know, melt into the background and be defined only by that bright line. It's been about an hour so far, and my target was to get this finished within an hour, and I'm quite happy. I could happily call this a finished piece on this hour, but I'm having quite a bit of fun, and there's still a lot more I want to do, especially in regards to the details and features. So the eyes, the nose and the mouth, I really want to get that kind of sculptural feeling with some of the firm edges on the nose in there before I call this painting done. Some of those really graphic shapes in the nose there, I really desperately want to get them down. So we're now about an hour and 40 minutes in. Where do we start? So fixing the right eye. I feel that I'm quite close to it now. But it was definitely quite a pain. I had to break out the liquify a couple of times, which I'm not against at all, but I didn't really want to bring out in this particular painting. Just bringing it into shape now. Okay then, I think with that I'm going to call it a day. I ended up just adding a hint of a choker. I used a bit more liquify just to drag the face down. So I'm quite happy with the shape of the face now and how the whole thing's turned out. That was a very interesting approach, and something that I haven't really tried very many times, getting the colour harmony down before anything else. But I think it was a good one, and I think it's going to be one that I'm going to try and use again later on, and get to be a bit more vibrant with the colours. See how far I can really stretch that technique, probably in my more imaginative work. I hope you've all enjoyed this as much as I have, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.